G'day, this is Armin the Parman. In this video I'm going to show you how to use Bitaroo's price chart. When you log in, you may or may not have the chart open, and you can toggle that with this button. And you'll see probably these candlesticks, but you can change how you see the chart. But most people use candlesticks, and I'll show you what that is. I like the Hello candles. So this is basically the Bitcoin price history, and each of these rectangles, which are called candlesticks, represents 1 hour, and you can change that to say every 2 hours or daily, and horizontally time is passing, and vertically it shows how high the price or how low the price is going. And you can change the zoom of this by dragging up and down on the y-axis or the left axis like this, and you can move the chart around by dragging from the center. And I'll just explain what these candlesticks are, because they're quite useful to look at what's going on with the price. So on the left you've got what's called a bullish candlestick, and on the right a bearish candlestick. And I'll start with the left one. It's got 4 data points represented in one picture, which your brain can, when you get used to it, your brain can quickly appreciate what's happened with price. And green candles I think of as going from the bottom left to the top right, general direction, with a peak represented by this wick, the candle wick, and an inverted wick represents the low. So during this 1 hour, if it's a 1 hour candlestick, it can be a daily candlestick, weekly, monthly, whatever you choose. During that time interval, the price starts here, does anything in the middle within the ranges of from here to here, and ends up here. So it could go from here, could go down, up, down a bit, up again, touch this peak, come down, could even go back all the way down and not quite, or just there. It could even go lower than that, and then that would make the wick even larger, and so you would never notice that the wick was initially small and then larger before it went to a close. That's a bit confusing to understand, but don't worry. And then this bearish candlestick, everything's the same except the direction is opposite. It starts at the top left and travels down to the top right, general direction. Now the bigger this rectangle is, the more the price has moved. You can see on this real chart some of these rectangles are a lot bigger than others. It means that the price has moved a lot more in that particular time. So this large red rectangle represents a day when Bitcoin went down a lot in that one day. And the tiny rectangles means that the price hasn't changed much. Now I'm going to look for some different types of candlestick shapes. Alright, so this one here is a good one to examine. The box here is very small, and the wick is actually much larger than the box. What's happened in this chart is that on the candlestick, it started at this bottom left corner of the box, gone all the way down, and then recovered all the way up again, and it's gone higher than when it started to that peak there, that tiny wick you can see, and then down a little bit, and then that 30 minutes was up. I'll show a different one. Here, this one here started from the top left, went up a bit, went all the way down, and at that point, the 30 minutes was up, and so a new candle began, and you can see it just started right next to where it closed. The close of one candle should usually be right next to the opening of the next candle. And what else to say? At the bottom, these bars here represent the amount of Bitcoin that was traded. It's called the volume. I'll switch to the daily. Okay, so here you can see a lot of Bitcoin was traded more than these days. You can see how many were traded for the day by hovering your mouse over these bars. And then you can see in the top left here the number of Bitcoin that was traded. So on this day there was 8.5, and then the next day there was 8.6, and it's color coded to represent whether the price moved up or down in that day. For more experienced traders, they can use these indicators and draw lines and have fun, but I'm not too interested in using them or even explaining them. So that's, I think, all you need to know about these charts.